Well, welcome back. Glad you're still here. Welcome to Shoulder Tap. And it's time to share some success and, of course, time to avoid some failure. So let's bring in our risk manager, Mick, to tell us who's doing good, who's doing bad, and who's doing ugly. Mick, good afternoon, sir. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Eddie? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm fine. Having a great day here in the wonderful town of Chicago. And what do you got for us today? Let's get into this.
Yeah, we've had beautiful weather here in Chicago this week, minus a little rain. Nice warm weather. All right, so Eddie, this has been a super exciting week for me, the risk team, and for
Cool.
Topstep. A lot of good stuff. So I'll start off by following up kind of something I was talking about yesterday. We had one of our traders that I featured yesterday, Salman, actually had made almost $52,000 in their live account yesterday. You probably remember hearing about that. They wrote out a 10 lot for some big profits there, but it was a string of all their trading together yesterday to put them at 52,000. Other exciting stuff from yesterday was we had our highest number of XFA to live call-ups in a single day yesterday. We called up 17 people from XFAs to a live account yesterday. I think our prior record for most call-ups in a day was 13. So tells me we got some good traders here. We got some people really in tune with what the markets are doing, and certainly, getting a little payback from the last couple of weeks where I had mentioned for anybody who was viewing the last couple of weeks, said we've actually had a deficit. I talk about how many people we call up, how many live accounts we close, and 2 weeks ago was the first time we had more people losing live accounts than we were actually calling up to the live accounts. We had the same thing last week, and then this week we're well ahead with way more call ups than live account offboarding. Yesterday gave us a pretty good goosing of 17 to get us to 23. So hopefully some of the people that are viewing right now, we're in that group of people called up to live yesterday or this week. And if you are, drop us a hello in chat and tell us how well you're going to trade in the live account as you make the transition over to our prop firm. As far as today goes, got some good P&Ls on the board today. Big shout out to our fearless leader, Michael Patak, up $3,000, trading the NASDAQ this morning. We've got Dakota. He's up, I think, like $4,000 right now. At one point was up 5,500, but he's in the money. And he also had a kind of a banger day on Tuesday, making over 17 grand in his live account. So really good stuff out of some of the bigger names here. But with that, let's talk about some new names that we haven't talked about before. And let's dive into these trading cards. I want to pull up the trading card for Tien, please.
Tien, got it.
So this is, I'll spill the beans right now. This guy's getting called up to a live account today. He's going to be one of our live accounts today.
Ooh.
Tien has been trading in an XFA for 25 days, absolutely killing it. They are a small trader, a singles hitter. Their average daily P&L is $450, 100% winning days on 24 trading days, 76% winning trades on those days. I mean, pull up this trade report and tell me you don't want this guy on your team, Eddie.
I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing well managed, no greed. And you know what? Base hit, and this is proof in the pudding that small profits do add up. And look where he's going right now, folks. Good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. It's all base hits. There's one home run here. Usually their holding time is about 13 minutes on average on their winners. There's one day in here. They only have one day that was over the 4-figure mark, and that was back in March, about a month ago, where they made $3,000 on a 3 lot. And they caught a piece of the trend for the day and let it run there. They had an hour and 29-minute, hour and a half hold time on that trade. But overall, this person's just coming in and they're jabbing. When we have these singles hitters, phone's ringing. When we have these singles hitters, we see pretty consistent profitability, higher winning trade percentages, higher winning days. And I always talk about how, this is really good stuff. It's a great foundation. And if you have a foundation like this, you should be able to scale your business. If it's working well, you're making on average a couple $100 trading ones and twos. You go to twos and fours, and then that average daily P&L increases if you're not changing anything. So we're always talking about scalability. Look at what they're doing. They have scaled their trading. You can see early on in the account, Eddie, these winning days are all about $200, and then you start to see these $500 winning days, and you can see that they've increased their position sizing a little bit during that time. So this is a classic example of things we talk about, like the beautiful scenario where you're consistently profitable and you can scale that to therefore generate bigger profits. And that's exactly what they're doing. We're going to call them up from the XFA to a live account today. We hope that they continue on at the rate they're going, continue taking payouts. They took a lot of payouts here, and you know what? They're taking big payouts too, which is a good thing. Maintaining kind of a low account balance in this XFA with all the payouts that they're taking. Before I made the call to call this person up to live, I did look at other accounts to see, okay, they haven't had any losing days in this XFA. So I don't know, this one account in particular, I don't know how bad it could get when it gets bad. But I looked at all their other trading combines that they've had, which I don't remember there being very many of them since they've been with us since October of 2022. They're grinding it out in all these accounts. They're not having blow up days. So I'm pretty comfortable calling them up with an account balance on the lower side. So they're going to start live without a huge pile of money. They've already pocketed, a good pile of money in their through their payouts. So, this is just good stuff here, and definitely going to be an awesome addition to the team.
Right. What's great, JD, just let me know here that TN is on our hot streak list, 24-day win streak for 10,796.
Yeah,
that's
no
great.
Surprise there. Is he at the very, very top with his 24 days? Or do we have any other higher win streaks, JD?
I don't
Just
think
curious.
So. I think we got
he's Tien's currently tied. So our top trader right now is Che. Che C is at 27 days, and then we have Arian, Petrus, Tien, and James all at 24 days. Those are our top 5.
Good stuff.
So
man.
impressive.
Good stuff.
I don't know if I ever had a winning streak like that. That's pretty damn good. Definitely something to write home about. All right, Eddie.
Yes.
Good stuff here. Let's move on.
Yep.
Let's talk about let's get the card for Justice, if we could.
Justice. Let's see here, pulling it up.
Justice is one of those people
that
we called up. Yar. Someone we called up from XFA to live yesterday. Train out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Really good metrics here. Called up from XFA after 13 short days. But that's because they've got killer metrics here. 85% winning days, 88% winning trades. They're taking on average only 2 trades per day, which I love. They're super selective. They'll have the swings. You can see best day here is $3,400. Worst day is $3,000. So they have hit that daily loss limit, but they're able to rein it in and do pretty well. Also, someone who's taken a nice healthy payout in their account. We love seeing the payouts. Couple things here that could probably improve, and it's a risk reward. It's right there. They're taking down $603 per contract on the winners and risking almost $900 on the losers. To have a risk reward that's kind of lopsided like this, you definitely need to maintain a high winning trade percentage, which they are. They're at 87, call it 88% winning trades. I really like that a lot. I do know that it's hard to maintain that high of a winning trade percentage, with any strategy, but they're doing it well right now. But, just consider the risk reward. If you can make tweaks to that, then all the other metrics here change. Bottom line, that average daily P&L, though, will definitely get helped out a bit there. I also like that their hold times here, Eddie. You can see they're hanging on to the winning trades for 10 minutes. They're cutting the losing trades quicker than 5 minutes. So Very impatient with the losers, which is something that's, a characteristic of a really good, mature trader. And based off what we're seeing, calling them up to live. So we like it. We want to continue to see it.
Coming up
Anything
to the
you want-
majors.
Coming up to the majors. Anything you want to comment on here?
Consistency. Very well. Total trades just over 2. And that, I'm scrolling down here, that's about it. Once again, they did hit that home run, but most of these days were base hits. I do see that the one day that you mentioned minus 3,000, they hit it right away. It was they were in the market for a little over 12 minutes. Took the loss, probably got stopped out, and didn't have that revenge trade sort of lingering, sitting on their shoulder. Come on, get back in. You'll get some of this back. Called it a day, threw in the flag, came back the next day. Beautiful. 5 minutes, got that back and more, even on just one trade. So
that's the beautiful thing about having the daily loss limits. It forces you to call a losing day at whatever, based on the account size that you choose. Where, without loss limits, I know I'm guilty of it. Any other trader, when I was trading full time, I didn't have loss limits. It's if I wanted to, I'll just say the extreme thing. If I wanted to risk the whole account, I could risk the whole account. So the loss limits are great. They hit that daily loss limit of 3,000 that one day, and then they got payback the following day, made 3,400. But those speed bumps are all there for a reason. It helps with money management. I always encourage people to come up with their own personal loss limits. I've mentioned it before. In the live accounts, I have a lot of people that say, "Hey, can you lower my loss limit?" I always love getting that phone call. It's interesting that you mentioned that one day that the only day they hit their daily loss limit here, the $3,000 daily loss limit, was the one day that they traded bigger than any other days. They're kind of a one lot, 2 lot trader. You can see, we've got it on the card here. Average
one trade at 10 lot, right?
Yeah, I mean they're trading up to 6 lots on average, but the one day that they lost, they had quite a bit of leverage on, and kind of that always seems to be the case. Is the first day you up your size tends to be a losing day. I've seen that, with myself, with other traders and stuff. It's not fair, but it happens. Yeah. Anyways,
right.
That's why I really think when you increase your position sizing, we've got our scaling plan here at Topstep. I think it's great. If you have X amount of money in your account, you should be able to trade X amount of contracts. I'd encourage traders to considering taking it a step further than just what we offer. Our scaling plan is super simple, very straightforward. But I always thought, and actually someone told me about this, and I firmly believe in it, it's really important to base your position sizing and increasing your position sizing based off of consistent profitability. If I'm consistently profitable for 2 or 3 weeks, Eddie, then I have real good justification as to why I should increase my position size if I am comfortable doing so. The dollar amount in your account isn't always good justification. One goofy extreme example of that would be, okay, I'm a new trader. My rich uncle gives me $100,000 to trade in my trading account. I have all this money I can put up towards margin, and I could say, I got 100 grand in the account. Let's trade 50 lots. Well, if I'm a new trader, I got no business risk taking 50 lot trades. So the consistent profitability is really something that if you can see that in your own trading, you should be pretty comfortable increasing that position size. As long as you're, comfortable assuming that kind of risk. But it's those kind of justifications that I think everyone should have for themselves when it comes to increasing the size.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you. All right. We've got another card here. Let's pull up.
We got to jump on that one.
Let's pull up Prince's trading card.
Prince.
All right. We had North Carolina. And now we got South Carolina. The Carolinas were hot yesterday. Prince is another trader we called up from XFA to live. Metrics, again, kind of speaks for themselves.
I am
Average daily
scrolling down here,
P&L.
loving it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. I
Wow.
mean, I'm always impressed with average, winning days, excuse me, winning day percentage being really high. It's really, really nice to see 80%, the 100%, the 85%. Like I said,
Right.
we had a good group of people that we called up yesterday. And Prince, let's take a little bit of a closer dive here. I like that the best day is 3,600 and the worst day is only 3,000. We never want to see someone risking more in a single trading day than they can put up on their best day,
Right.
or their average winning day. So in regard to the best day, we're okay here, but the average winning day, it is only $1,900 basically. So I don't think Prince has any business risking $3,000 in a single trading day, but he doesn't have a lot of losing days. That's something I would encourage him to consider looking into, and maybe putting some controls in place so he's not losing 3,000 in his live account when on his average winning day it's only about $1,900. But the average losing day is lower than the average winning day. It's only about 1,600 there, so that's okay. Overall, I don't have a lot of stuff to critique here. They're taking
You know,
regular payouts.
Mhm.
What were you going to say something?
you said they're taking regular payouts. I do see here April 8th. Prince was up 366, and that was his big negative day, down 3,000. And I do feel that if we start off the day with a profit and then things start to go south on us, this is, I think, when revenge trading is amplified, where the mindset is, man, I was up. I got to get this back. And I think that's one of the killers. If you do start your day on 366 would have been a day where I would have probably shut it down. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But this trader trades a little bit bigger. And I think that can sort of lead to recklessness, indecisions, decisions that aren't actually good for the account. I think that's sort of what happened there on that day. But the other days, I mean, it's a very good trader here, and I'm glad to see that you're bringing him up to the
Yeah,
live funded account.
I I think it's important that you bring this up, Eddie. I'm not sure, while I'm aligned with you there, I'm not sure that this so much applies to Prince, just because, those average winning days are $1,900. If this were a trader where 300 and what, $30 you were, $366 you were
66.
talking about was
Yeah.
a significant profitable day for him, then sure, I'm with you there. But if you're averaging 1,800 a day on your winning days and you're trading 5 lots, $300 is kind of $360 is kind of a drop in the bucket, if you ask me. I'm a huge advocate of capturing large percentages of profitable days. If $2,000 is a big day for me, a big winning day for me, I better be calling it a day if I give back half of that. Essentially walking away up 1,000 on the day. So that's really important. But if you're trading 5 lots, we know how quickly, profits or losses of $366 can come into play. So I would say, to a degree, that's a good point here. But because they are trading a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit, it dampens the point just a little bit. But I will say, since you brought that up, Eddie, I'm looking at all the other trading days here for Prince, and they do a pretty damn good job about locking in the day at their high water mark. We already talked about how they're selective with their trading. So 4 trades a day on average. There's a lot of days, not a lot, but there's a couple days here where they only make 1 trade per day. So there's actually a couple days as I expand the trade report. I like that. That tells me they have a distinct strategy, that they're looking for their setups, and if they're not seeing their setup, they're not taking the risk and putting the trade on. So it's like, I'm watching the markets, I'm waiting for my setup to come, to rear its head up, and if it happens, I take the opportunity. If it doesn't happen, I walk away. So there's very few days here where Prince is not ending on his high water mark. And it just tells me he's pretty mature and comfortable with his trading. And he's only taking risk in the marketplace when he sees a good opportunity, as opposed to someone who's chasing profits and, taking shots. It's like, he's not the guy out there that's looking to hit a big round number. Oh, I'm up $1,800. If I just make a couple more trades or one more trade, I'm going to hit 2,000. And you want to just,
Right.
Hit that big round number for no reason other than wanting to hit the big round number. So I like that. And I did see that in some of their other trading outside of this XFA, from which we, are calling them up to live.
Right. Well, I mean, if appreciate the advice you're giving and appreciate the comments we're seeing in chat. And the thing is, with shoulder tap, if you can learn from another trader, the other trader, and I mean, these are all getting brought up to the live funded. And I think our first trader, 10, right?
Yeah.
Base hit, base hit, base. It took a little time, but I mean, the thing is, if you're in a rush to make money trading or just to make money, go to a casino and try your luck there. Because the thing is, I really like Tien's trade report because it was $200, $300, $400, $500 each day. And it took a little while, but look where Tien is right now. He's being brought up by Mick and the team over there. He worked very hard. And to make that kind of money isn't that hard. It's one trade, two trade, and you're done for the day.
They certainly made it look easy. I'm glad you brought it up, Eddie. Like, the small, consistent profitability, it really adds up over time. I've said it before, like, I'm way more impressed with someone that can average $200 in wins per day, as opposed to the trader that's making 3,000, losing 3,000, making 3,000,
Nothing wrong
losing
with that,
3,000.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the year, small wins add up to really, a nice amount. Even if it's $100 a day, that adds up to, over 20 grand over the course of a year. And, for a lot of people that are trading in our program and just trading out there in general, that's a nice secondary source of income. If you're someone who's, working a regular job and you come in and you've got, a little time during the day, who doesn't want an extra 20 grand a year? But more often than not, it's those smaller traders that actually have something to show at the end of the year, other than the people that, have big winning days, big successes, and then bleed it out. I think about a name we haven't talked about in a while, but Hughes, that live trader from France who had brought his account up. This was like Q3 of last year, I think, Q3 of 2023. He was over $100,000 in his account. I know he took a nice big payout, and he was the guy that could have, $10,000 winning days, $25,000 winning days, but then every other day he was just bleeding out. And, for someone who got their account above $100,000, they didn't have too much to show for it at the end of the day. And that account was, lost from, just a lot of bleeding. Someone who can be consistently profitable over time can scale their business, and they're always going to be better off than the person that, has lucky success or quick success, but then can't protect it. We always say that goal number one in this business is capital preservation, and making the money is what we're all here for, but we got to preserve our capital. And it's those big swingers who can't manage their downside. Yeah, trading for tomorrow. Right. Happy to share. I only featured three of our traders, two of which were called up yesterday. But again, 17 traders called up to live yesterday. It's exciting stuff. A lot of work on our end of things.
And you're doing a great job there, Mick and the team. We got Brett and we got Ben. And we appreciate all the work you do, and save us when we're sinking very fast. But remember, folks, there's different types of traders. Like we talked about Tien with the small profits. And of course, We talk about Prince with the larger dailies. We're all different, and find your groove. Find something that's comfortable for you. You don't have to be making 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 to see success. But if you are that trader, God bless. Keep it going. Mick, it's been a pleasure, my friend. We've got group coaching coming up, my friend. So I'm going to sit back and watch. We got Robert and I believe JD. So, Mick, you get back to work, son. Chop, chop.
Plenty to do. Thanks, Eddie. Take care.